It's a fictional book. It's not real life, Cam. Don't project.
Woo!
Fictional book, not real life. Don't project. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another book review. I'm, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson, and yes, it's another Colleen Hoover book. Maybe my favorite so far? Maybe? Question mark? Let's see. Confess by Colleen Hoover. You guys know by now how I format these. I'm going to read the back of the book. I'll give you a general overline of how I like the book. Then I'll be doing spoilers at the back half. I have my glasses on today, so the reading should be good. Before we get into it, go ahead and thumbs up the video, subscribe. If you're only listening, we have a full video available on YouTube. Go check it out there if you're watching it on YouTube. This is also available wherever you consume podcasts. Just look up the Road to Redemption podcast, and there we are. All right, let's get into it. Auburn Reed has lost everything important to her. In her fight to rebuild her shattered life, she has her goals in sight, and there's no room for mistakes. But when she walks into a Dallas art studio in search of a job, she doesn't expect to find such a deep attraction to the enigmatic artist who works there, Owen Gentry. For once, Auburn takes a chance and puts her heart in control, only to discover that Owen is keeping a major secret from coming out. The magnitude of his past threatens to destroy everything Auburn loves most, and the only way to get her life back on track is to cut Owen out of it. Whew. To save their relationship, all Owen needs to do is confess. But in this case, the confession could be much more destructive than the actual sin. In her magnificent and exceptional style, Colleen Hoover delivers once again a deeply moving story about how true love and family are ties that can never be broken. Okay, so Auburn and Owen Gentry. First off, there's a big thing with names, okay? So Owen's name is Owen something Gentry. His initials are OMG. They play to that quite a bit in the thing. Auburn's middle name is Auburn Owen, I believe. So they have the same middle name. Or no, yeah, they have the same middle name. Whatever the middle name is, they have the same one. And Colleen Hoover really likes the names in this. So just get used to that right off the rip. Let's get into the general overview of the book. So, obviously, the book is called Confess. If you've ever read one of Colleen Hoover's books before, you know that she likes to keep some secrets about at least one of the characters, pretty close to the vest throughout the book. This one, you had to expect it was coming. We start off, the main character, Auburn, is walking actually from a job. She just doesn't make enough money at the job she's at. She sees this sign, help wanted, and then it's like scratched out, and it's like seriously, desperately help wanted, and she sees that it's just a studio place that's called Confess. She's like, what the heck is this? So she walks in just out of pure curiosity, and there's Owen, and he tells her the story of what happened to his past employee, which was his ex-girlfriend, was supposed to help him during this art gallery opening, and boom. So it's not insta-love per se, but it is quick attraction. I don't know how much I want to tell you in this part, but Auburn has a past relationship that she doesn't really entertain new relationships at all. She doesn't have an interest in sparking a relationship with someone. So her attraction to Owen is new because it's been 5 years since the situation happened, and she's like, whoa, how am I getting these feelings again? So it's a big deal to her. Well, Auburn finds through some sources of hers that maybe Owen's not such a great guy. He's got some stuff that, would really jeopardize things for Auburn. Some new characters they're not new, but some characters are introduced in the way of Trey, who is Auburn's former brother-in-law. Lydia, who is her technically ex-mother-in-law, I guess, kind of, not really. And, you hear about Owen's mother. You have Owen's father, who is in it, who is a high-level attorney in the city that they live in. And it's a great book, a lot of plot twists. My favorite thing about the book is actually the art. This book has some of the coolest art I've ever seen, just in general. But then for a book, I mean, dude, this art is unreal. I really enjoyed it. So if you only have like a Kindle version or something, this is why I always say it's worth getting a hardcover of a book. Because if you just got the audiobook, man, you missed a solid portion of the book, which is just the art that's provided in it. So there's that. I definitely recommend you guys checking this out. And we're going to go ahead and move to spoilers. So if you guys don't want to see that, sign off here and come back when you've read the book, and you can enjoy the spoiler talk with us. And 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, so now I can talk more candidly. I was tripping my way through that. That was tough. Okay, so Auburn has an ex from when she was 15 years old. His name was Adam. He died. He got a disease and he died. Auburn was with him in his final days, or was trying to be, and she was kind of pushed away so that his family could have their grieving time. And because they were so young, everyone's like, this is inappropriate, kind of, whatever. Skip to 5 years. We find Auburn in the studio with Owen. She finds out that Owen runs this art studio where people drop random confessions into like a bucket. He pulls them out and he'll paint one of these pieces based off of whatever the confession is, whatever his heart feels compelled like to draw. He draws an art like that. Well, people come, and because of the limited amount of time he does this, he does it like one Thursday a month. When he puts these pieces up, he sells out. So he's pretty successful. Well, obviously there's an immediate attraction between Auburn and Owen, but he's kind of like standoffish. He's like, look, man, there's just some stuff about me, I'm just telling you, you don't really want to get involved. So cut to, he's moving past it. He's really attracted to her. Things are going well. The next morning, he's waking up after being arrested. And you're like, what the fuck? Why was he arrested? What? Well, in comes at the same time Auburn's brother-in-law, Trey, who is saying, this Owen dude is a bad guy. Stay away from him. While he's trying to put the moves on Auburn. Now, you find in the book, it's kind of randomly dropped in there that Auburn has a child. The kid the guy she was with when she was 15, she was pregnant when he died. They didn't know that. She found out like 2 weeks after his passing. So she had his child, and because of her age and stuff, his mother, Lydia, had full custody of the kid, while Auburn tried to figure life out and, get her stuff together. But they were in constant contact. She was trying to see her kid as much as she possibly could. So in comes Trey, Adam's brother, and goes, look, I'm great with your son, AJ. He's my brother's kid. I just think it's only right. And also, I know you're interested in this guy, Owen. You can shut that down now, because he's a dirtbag, and I'm saying no. Well, then, like I said, then you see he's waking up to being arrested. You're like, what? And he's saying he has this confession, whatever. So then you meet his dad, and you find out, big spoiler, I'm kind of jumping through just so this isn't a 20-minute video, but you find out Adam's bigwig attorney dad is addicted to pills ever since his mom and his dad and Owen were in the car. Owen was driving, wasn't his fault, got in a car accident. Owen's mom died. Dad crumbles, falls apart, gets addicted to meds after, he said that he was in some pain for a while, and then he ended up getting hooked on pills. Well, he was about to catch a Dewey. He called, his dad called Owen and was like, I'm in a bad spot. I'm so sorry. Just help me. So Owen rushed to where he was. He was like driving down the road. Owen gets in the car, helps him, is like, dude, what the fuck? What's going on? And a cop, Trey, comes up and sees this situation. And he knows what's going on. He can see clearly what's going on, that Owen's not doing anything wrong. The guy's intoxicated. He finds pills in the car. He knows they're not Owen's, but he also knows that Owen was just with Auburn, the girl he's trying to, and he's a police officer. So they're using the overbearing police officer thing, like he can use his resources to know where everyone is at all times. That shit always annoys me, just because, again, cops can't do that. It's still fucking harassment. Sorry for the language. I'll chill on that. It's still harassment. You can't do that. Let's talk about Lydia for a second. Lydia is, again, Adam's mother, was taking care of Auburn's son, AJ, and she's very manipulative. She uses the kid to kind of keep Auburn doing things that she wants her to do, or she'll make comments on ways that her life is that she doesn't approve of. I know so many real people like this, and it is super annoying because, one, it is very manipulative, and you have to set boundaries against people like that 1,000%. At the same time, it's usually done out of love, and it's usually done because they are teaching a lesson that they had to learn the hard way as well. It was tough. Here's where the book really turns for me. So Owen and Auburn, after the arrest, decide, I can't have anything to do with you. Auburn says this to Owen because Trey is going to make my life hell in the court system with Lydia's help to make sure that I never see my son if you're around. You just got caught for possession. And his dad, Owen's dad, was trying to convince him to just take a stint in rehab. He went down for his dad. He took the fall for the pills because his dad didn't have a prescription for him. So he took the fall, and he's like, Dad, I'm not going to rehab. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look like some kind of junkie. Like, I really don't know what his reason was that he wouldn't go to rehab, but he's like, I'll just do the jail time. So he ends up going through, finding out he's going to do time, even though it's his first time possession. And this is where I did not like the book. There was a moment where Auburn and Trey are together. They're slightly dating, I guess you could call it. He kisses her twice. He goes, oh, you let me do that twice. The next time they're together, he asks, did you ever let Owen inside you? Did you guys sleep together? And she goes, no. And he tries to sleep with her, and she says, no. And he starts to sexually assault her. Well, thank God Owen's there, and he punches Trey. And that's not the first time that's happened, but he knew by doing that, he was sealing his fate. He was going to go back to jail. So Owen's taking this big sacrifice at the time while Auburn is also making this huge sacrifice of kind of being with Trey for her son. While Owen is also sacrificing for his dad, it's just all this sacrifice that these people are doing while also like trying to desperately cling on to each other. The big confession was that it was Owen's dad who had the problem. When everyone in the book was making it seem like Owen was this drug addict, he had these problems. He was like a dark, addict artist who was just a scumball. But really he was balling. He made tons of money. He was a good dude. So in the end of it all, after Trey tries to assault Auburn, everyone turns their guns to supporting Owen. Like, Auburn goes to Owen's dad, tells him, you better get him out of this shit or whatever. He doesn't end up doing that. He gets some months in county jail. Again, I don't think he goes to prison. He just does a couple months in county. But all the while, Auburn is telling Lydia and them, like, look, man, I'm done with this. I know who this guy is, and I also know who your son is. And she tells him, essentially, your son assaulted me. So if you guys want to keep trying to hold this shit over my head, we can go all the way through court, all the way through it to the very end. So Trey ends up dropping the charges for Owen punching him, and he just has to do the time for the possession charge. So it's a great book. Lots of plots, turns. I did not see Auburn having a kid coming. Just with they were 15 years old. I was kind of, in the first part, so turned off by the fact that they were doing a sex scene for two 15-year-olds. I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? But it's crucial because then you have to know, oh, a kid was consummated from that. So it was a great book. I would say 9 out of 10 storyline-wise. I would even give it a 10 out of 10 because I love the art being in there so much. This is truly one of Colleen Hoover's best. If I had to rate them right now, I would have to say Confess, Heartbones, and then the It Ends, It Starts With Us series is probably my favorite at this point. But I've still got a stack of them left to go. You guys let me know what you thought of this book and all of Colleen Hoover's other books, and we'll see you in the next review, baby.